All right, everybody. It's CH and Ty Audits here. We've got Ty with us, and we are going to be doing a review video of one of the most heinous interactions that I've ever had with a government official. A lot of you have already seen the video. If you haven't, what you're about to see is just shocking. I mean, it's almost, I don't think I've ever seen it in another auditing video. Um, what happened to us was absolutely unheard of. And in order to fight this, we're going to need all the support that we can get. We've spoken to a lawyer, a few lawyers actually, and we've gotten quoted. The lowest we got quoted was around 6,000. So we're determined though to launch this fight. We're determined to launch this suit. And if you guys would help us, we'd appreciate that a lot. We'll get some super chats pinned up to the video, and we'll do everything we can to shout you out. But we appreciate all the support. So, guys, let's get into the video. We've got Josh with AFA here, so he's going to be helping us out today since I'm so inexperienced at this this whole StreamYard thing. So if we start about two minutes here, that'll get us into the building. And guys, I'm going to let the video play a little bit, and then we'll pause it and we'll go over what's going on here. This is me actually going into the courthouse.
Yeah, I can help you. I don't need help today, brother. I just got to put this here. What's this for? I just
there's no recording devices in the courtroom.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but it's recorded.
Yeah. Let's see, what do I got? Got some cards. All right. Oh, it's my belt. That's what it is. Yeah, for sure. There we go.
There you go. Again, no recording devices.
Oh yeah, I know, man. Wouldn't want to go to jail.
All right. No, it's judicial law. They don't have any recording devices.
Well, it's the judge could hold me in contempt of court. There's no actual law against it. The only law against that would be the First Amendment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of the press, except for when we find it necessary.
Are you here for court, sir?
I don't answer questions, man.
What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Sorry.
What's your name?
Man, I don't answer questions.
So what are you here for?
Whoa.
What's your visa? What's your name?
I don't answer questions, man.
What's your name, sir? I'm just asking your name.
My eyes are up here.
What's your name? Are you on this list?
I don't.
Are you here for court? That's what I'm asking you.
Sir, I don't answer questions.
What are you here for?
Okay.
All right, guys. So let's take a pause there. And so what just happened basically was that guy, he took a long time to figure out that I didn't answer questions, but I think eventually he got the hang of it. He was actually trying to steal my debit card from me at that point and actually like take a look at it. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I had to go and grab it from him just to make sure he couldn't get his hands on it. And then he goes, I'm just going to call in somebody else, who actually turned into be the jail commander. By the way, we've added some mods. So the moderators have a blue wrench next to their name. So if we could start getting some of the trolls out of the chat, we don't need them here. You know, this is a private channel. This isn't a public forum. We don't allow ridiculous comments here on this channel. But guys, yeah, so basically what was happening was that guy was just not getting it. He thought I needed to answer his questions, and he learned the hard way that he didn't. So after that, though, I just basically went in and figured out that the actual employees were pretty nice. And after I figured out that everybody was kind of cool with me being there except for the clerks, we began to head upstairs, which is around 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So if we can go there and check out what happens there.
Good luck, everybody.
And that was just me wishing the people in cuffs that were about to go to court good luck.
Sir, we don't allow recording up here on the second floor.
What's
You have to
going
turn
on?
your phone off. We don't allow recording up here on the second floor, so you have to turn your phone off.
Why not? Is that a law or?
The judge does not allow it up here.
Right, she's got power over her courtroom. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go into her
We
courtroom.
don't. Okay, but we don't allow it, so I'm asking you to step down here.
Man, as long as I'm not in the courtroom,
They don't allow it on this floor.
right? There's no law, dude. So if you're not allowed to do it,
Can we
that's
pause
you,
that
but
there?
I'm a citizen. I have to follow the law.
All right, guys. So this guy was just obviously he believes, hey, Brian Sprayberry, I really appreciate that, man. Stick it to the man fund. That's right. That's what we're gonna do. So, guys, the IC code that does exist, it's Rule 2.17, and I'll be honest, I didn't know about this code beforehand, but regardless of whether I knew it, I wasn't in violation of it. It says in this rule, this IC, it's a law. It says a judge shall prohibit broadcasting, televising, recording, or taking photographs in the courtroom and areas immediately adjacent thereto during sessions of court or recesses between sessions. So in this particular video, hey, Gatlinburg Bears, I appreciate that, man. In this particular video, the court was not in session, and that will become obvious later on in the video. But that's very important to know that while they say they don't allow recording on the second floor, that's not a law. But recording while court is going on the second floor would be breaking the law. But at this point in time, court was not going on. So let's continue.
Only charge that I could be charged with is contempt of court if I go into the courtroom.
Okay.
So the law says that the judge can do that. The law doesn't say anything about me not being allowed to practice my constitutionally protected activity on the second floor of a courthouse. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay, well, then that's
You know,
good. So let's just cut out the whole trying to give me unlawful directives, and I'll just go about doing my business, and I'll get out of your hair when I'm done. All right. Thank you, man.
Metal items right there for me.
No, I'm not interested in going around to where I'm going to get in trouble, man.
Hey, Michelle Thompson, we appreciate that
It could
Cash
be over
App
there.
donation. Guys, if you donate on Cash App, we can see it. And if I do notice it, we will make sure to give you a shout out. The next few minutes were actually kind of a little bit boring. So if we get fast forward for about 2 minutes there on the video, it's when I decide to actually go through the metal detector,
But the court office.
start recording around the other areas.
Public
records request for
The office over there is closed. We don't have anybody in this office. That's the bailiff's office. That's an office. That's an office. It's the office for the administrator. So there's like court records and stuff in there.
Okay, good. That's actually what I'm looking for. So, is that like the supervisor of the bailiffs over there? Shelly?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
And guys, while nothing's happening, while just talk through this part, we are about to file litigation on these people, but we need your help to do it. So anything is appreciated. Just you guys being here and watching is helpful. Our Cash App is it is $CH and Thai audits. If we could get some mods to put that in the chat, I'd really appreciate that. And anything helps, guys. I mean, this is a fight you guys are about to see. This is crazy. We'll go back to the video though. This is a good part. Could we actually rewind it to the part where I actually enter into the office itself? Listen to this guy's fake accent. He's like, you'd think he's in the mafia or something.
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
It's going good. Do you work here?
What are you doing?
What are you?
What are you doing with this? Didn't they say no cameras allowed up here? Do you?
Isn't, well,
Hey,
in the courtroom, that would be a different thing.
upstairs period. The judge is owners. I'm his bailiff.
Right, yeah, but the judge has power over the courtroom, man.
Please leave my office.
Is this a
Please
public
leave
office?
my office now.
Hey, whoa.
Hey,
Don't you get
Jason.
all crazy with me. What do you mean get this guy out of here? Are you guys going to go hands-on and get a lawsuit?
Yeah.
You guys are going to go hands-on?
No, we're not gonna go hands on. I'm just asking you politely.
Well, he wasn't, man. Do you want to apologize to me and I'll leave?
Come on.
I'm asking you to leave.
If you apologize for raising your voice, I'll
Oh,
leave.
yes, thank you.
You apologize?
Yes.
Can I actually hear it? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay, great. Okay, good.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
So
just be
that's
polite,
a
man.
really important
All
thing
you
that
need to
just
do.
happened right there, and I think that's got a lot to do with what happens later on in the video. David McGuire, I really appreciate that. A little for the stick it to the man fund. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I appreciate that. But yeah, guys, I made the guy apologize before I left his office. I agreed that I would apologize, or if he apologized, I would leave the office. So that's very important to keep in mind, and we'll bring it up here again later in the video.
I didn't know you guys got angry redneck mafia there.
Yeah, oh, we do. Yeah, and they even copy the real mob. What are you doing?
Hey, forget about it. You want to film in the court? Forget about it.
No, but yeah, nobody told you can't do that around here. Something might happen to you if you do. It's quite funny.
Jury room. There we go in there.
I was just that door. They're not letting anybody in there. The judge Leach does not allow recording on this floor.
The judge has got
just
power
informed.
over the courtroom,
They
man.
don't want recording on this floor.
That's
So-
fine, man. The judge has
I'm
got power.
just gonna ask politely to just leave this floor. If you want to record downstairs, you're more than welcome.
I'm more than welcome to record up here, man. I don't care what the judge wants, man. She's not the law. She enforces it. What the judge wants, that's what he wants, man. But what I want is my constitutionally protected activities to be secured. You get what I'm saying? First Amendment, no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of the press. So as long as there's no law against it, I'm going to do it. Now, in the courtroom,
Josh,
judge's
can we
got all
fast
powers
forward to
that
15,
she
20
wants,
and
you know,
pause it
whatever.
there?
I don't know. But, he can do that in his court. That's not the law.
Actually, no.
So, yeah, guys. So basically, I wanted to point out that even when you point out and you quote the First Amendment of the Constitution that these guys swear to uphold right to their faces, they don't care. They don't respect it. They just do what they're told. They do what their judges tell them. They're their overlords. They do what they're told, and that's it. All they care about is their paycheck. That Constitution does not pay them. They don't give a darn about it. And that's super important. I mean, this is the whole reason why we do this thing, right? These people go around and they say, well, we're here to protect you. We're here to make sure that you're safe. They don't even care about us. All they care about is that paycheck that they get at the end of the week, at the end of the month. It's got the taxpayers' money on it, and they use that money as an excuse. Well, it's my job, and I get it. I got to keep my job. So, of course, I got to violate your rights. So, but that's important. I just wanted to let you guys get in on my opinion on that. So let's continue with this video.
No, I won't.
You won't retrain them?
No, I don't need to. I don't
Is the
need
judge your boss?
Yes.
Okay, that explains it. Then I'm sorry. I didn't mean to try to tell you, boss. Are you the guy from downstairs?
Yeah.
Please tell me there's somebody down there watching the door.
There is. This is
Okay, thank God. Thank God. Great.
Off-duty deputy.
All right.
Okay, you're not. Is it live back here at all?
No.
No.
What's going on back here?
Thank you very much, Conejo Valley. We definitely will.
Sir. So we just spoke with the judge. They just had a conference that talked about this matter. Okay. So they're looking into some issues, and they just asked that you hang tight on the landing until they check into it.
I also talked to her.
Okay.
There's no videotaping when there's voting going on.
Gotcha.
There's
So-
no videotaping of the voting.
Of the when there's
So-
voting.
That's not right, man.
All I'm asking, they're checking into some restrictions. All right.
Fine, man.
They just ask that you hold tight on the landing until they're able to verify,
They're-
and then we'll let you back up here.
They're gonna verify it, man. That's fine, unless I'm breaking a law.
All I'm doing is I'm politely asking you to wait on the landing
I get
until
you.
they check into
I think
the
he's got it.
restrictions.
Did you guys get it figured out back there?
This is the judge. I would
This
ask
is the
that you
judge.
Treat him with respect, please.
Oh, I treat everyone with respect till I start getting disrespected myself, man. What's going on? How's it
I was
going?
being disrespectful to you.
Keeps telling me what to go. No, I have no problem. There seems to be some misconception that, you judges can just kind of make rules for the whole courthouse. And I was trying to inform them, you get to make your own rules for your courtroom, but as long as I'm not going in, not filming in, there's not really a problem with me being up here because the First Amendment, as you know, there shall be no law passed abridging the freedom of speech. I'm sure you are, but
Right. So this guy I start
this
to
is-
bring
this
up
is-
the First Amendment, and he just cuts me off. He doesn't want to hear it, not from me. he doesn't need to hear anything from me. He knows it all already. And newsflash, he doesn't give a damn about it. I do want to take this time to say thank you to Tanya, who just sent $5 via Cash App. That's very much appreciated. Let's continue on with the video, though. Sorry if it's hard to hear
No problem. I don't have a problem with it, man. I know my laws. I know my rights. I can't go in there. I mean, I don't agree that you should be able to hold me in contempt of court for doing a First Amendment protected activity, but that's the way. I mean, you guys throw people in cages for it, so I'm just going to stay out of there. I don't like going in a cage, so I'm just going to do what I can do here. You know, I got rights. If you don't use them, you lose them, right?
My understanding is a person cannot film in the courtrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They could film out here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, guys. So that is just so important right there. The judge says, my understanding is you can't film in the courtroom, but you can film out here. And he indicated to the whole entire lobby outside of the courtroom, which means that even though there is a law, which we just established earlier in the video, if you're new, the law says there shall be no recording in the areas immediately adjacent to the courtroom while court is in session or while they are taking a recess in between sessions. So there is a law, but he doesn't even know that. And also court hasn't started, which will become obvious later in the video. But from his understanding, I am allowed to record all out there. So let's see what he does after this.
There or the jury room.
Yeah, no jury rooms either.
But as far as here, this is an open area.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Andrew Cordeau, we appreciate that, man. A very French name for sure.
That's a secure area now? Okay.
And really, I don't know if anybody's in the jury room, but nevertheless, for security.
Yeah, we don't want to interrupt any of those matters, man.
It's true, you wouldn't be able to film here. Hey, you wouldn't be able to film here.
Sorry?
You would not be able to film here.
What do you mean, like here?
Right here, not here.
All right, guys. So right here, when he's
I am-
saying you're not able to film here, it's very difficult to hear it in the recording. But since I was there, I can tell you the lady who is to the right of him on the screen, the lady that's right behind the desk, says to the judge, I do not want him filming here because I've got confidential files on my desk. We all know what the deal is with confidential files in a public area. It's their responsibility to create privacy in public. It's not my responsibility to restrain my eyes and my camera from looking at that. So that's the deal. So the judge just basically makes this arbitrary order saying, look, this gal doesn't want you recording here while she's in public, so don't do it. And let's see what he does afterwards.
Actually, Judge, I'm allowed to film right here because
If you film this, I will hold you directly to court and
you can't hold me in contempt of court when I'm outside the court, man.
bring him court.
I'm not coming into court. Don't touch me, man.
Yeah, let's do it. So, guys, I mean, it's clear for all to see. Not 30 seconds ago did he tell me he can record out here, just not in the courtroom. Then he says, if you record here, I'm going to hold you in contempt. And I tried to tell him I didn't even record in the area that he said I couldn't record. I didn't even point the camera at the desk. All I said was, Judge, you can't hold me in contempt of court outside of court. I mean, if that was the case, a judge could hold you in contempt of court anywhere. And you walk into the post office and tell the judge that he looks bad that day. And he's going to say, if you say that, I'll have you dragged into my courtroom and we'll hold you in contempt of court. That is an authoritarian society. That's a government out of control. And this guy is a government official out of control. His bailiff walks over to me immediately upon receiving the orders from his master to come and, drag me into the courtroom. You'll see this guy looks hesitant, but I'm sure that some of the Nazis were hesitant to execute some of the Jews, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do it. Josh, can we make that bigger? I can't really see what that is on the screen there.
Sorry, that's a summary of your case. I just wanted to point out that when you look at the order of the hearing, it states that you disrupted a court proceeding that was in process, which it says interferes with the start of court proceedings by delaying the convening of court. But you can literally see that judge has to run off so he could go put on his robe to convene a court that wasn't in session. So I just wanted to bring that up so people could clearly see what a liar this guy actually was.
Yeah, super, super good point. Because, I mean, and the whole claim that I'm delaying him is like me saying that, or is like somebody saying that, you know, I don't know, I saw a guy that was, like, for the same example, like I saw a guy recording in a public parking lot and I didn't like it, so he delayed me getting in my car and leaving. Nobody can delay somebody without actually physically going and delaying them. It's his choice to come out of his chambers and, you know, come out and confront me. It's his choice to have a meeting before court to decide whether he can throw me in a cage for recording in a public area. That was all his choices. He probably could have legally held me in contempt if he had begun court and then said, "Sir, you're in violation of Rule 2.17, but he didn't. He missed his chance. He shit the bed, and he's ordering to have me dragged into court. So let's see what goes on after this.
No, do not touch me, brother. You don't want to touch me. If you touch me, that's going to be a lawsuit. That judge is ordering you something. You should not do it. I haven't even done anything illegal, man. I'm leaving.
Come on.
Nope. I'm leaving. I
All
don't
right,
have to
let's
be in the
talk about
courtroom.
that.
Guys, leave me alone.
The guy goes, I go, "Don't touch me, man. That judge is ordering you to do something and you should not do it." And he looks at me and he goes, I'm sure he might have said, "He's the judge." I do what he says. And, you know, it's clear this guy's just an order follower. Now, I've actually received, hey, Matt sent me $5. I know it's not much, guys. I'd give more if I could. Hey, Matt, don't feel bad, man. $5 is great. You know, we appreciate every penny, guys. I mean, a 99-cent donation would be appreciated. Anything we can get is helping us along the road to holding this guy more accountable. But, guys, so, yeah, I mean, this guy is just a blatant order follower. Now, what I was about to say is I received an email from somebody that lives in Kentland, and they said they're friends with this gentleman's wife, this bailiff right here. And she said that this guy's wife is scared that he might lose his job because he's done this. And, you know, he might lose his livelihood. And my response is, hey, you know, tough luck. If I'm caught with weed on the side of the road in a car, not hurting anybody, I could get sentenced to 20, 30 days in jail, and I'd lose my job. I'd lose my livelihood, and then my son wouldn't be able to have the lifestyle that he deserves. Tough shit. You know, if you're going to go around violating people physically and just doing anything you're told, that's a problem. That's not what America is. That's not what a patriot does. This guy is a tyrant, and unfortunately for him, he doesn't even know it. So, Terry, hey, I appreciate, Terry, pinning the cash app. Great stuff, Mod. So if we can continue with this video, let's see. I'll explain what goes on in the court, but I want to hear.
I'm telling you.
I'm
I'm leaving the
judge
court
right now.
I'm leaving this. Hey, Judge, if
Is your video camera turned off?
no, it's not turned off because they're detaining me. So what is going on here? Man, stop it. Don't touch my shit. Do not touch my shit, guys.
It grabs my shit and puts it on the table.
Be gentle.
Louise Cruz, thank you for that. I appreciate that a lot.
The fact that she touched your camera and moved it is crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
real quick, I just wanted to point out that she's now just saying that court is in session, which I'm really confused about because the only way you were lawfully able to be charged with contempt of court was by delaying a court proceeding. But if court's only in session after you were taken in, what proceeding was there for you to delay at the convening of?
absolutely, man. And that's the thing is, like, you know, even if they can't say that I was delaying it. I mean, I wasn't even like, I didn't make the judge come out there and I didn't make them throw a big hissy fit. They could have legally started court, done everything fine, and then told me to leave afterwards. So, you know, after they started, like, hey, we got a rule. It's rule 2.17. You've got to get out of here. Here's the rule. And they didn't do that, though. The guy chose to delay court on his own accord. I didn't make him do anything. So, you know, that's exactly right. The judge didn't even have his robe on. And then right here in the next few seconds, the lady's about to call for court to start.
Superior Court. Superior Court.
Yeah, that's it. And so, like, really right there, there's nothing more happening that we can hear in this video. Besides, I really come out and say I've been held in contempt. But guys, when I went into the courtroom, the judge had me brought up after he got his robe on. I was waiting in there for about a minute. He brought me up in front of the, you know, to the defense table. No public attorney. He's the one prosecuting it. He's also the one that's charging me with it. He's the one, you know, judging it. And yeah, he's the one sentencing me. It's one of the biggest conflict of interest I've ever seen. Benjamin Scott, thank you. But guys, yeah, I mean, it was grotesque. And the guy gave me an opportunity to apologize. He said, you know, you can apologize and I'll let you leave. You won't have to go to jail. And I just told him, you know, at this point, you're just trying to get me to admit guilt. I didn't tell him this, but I was basically like, shove it. You know, you can do your worst, man. I mean, but I'm not, you know, because that's the thing about us on CH and Tie audits. We don't comply with tyranny. We're real Americans. I mean, this is what we stand up for. Because if we had folded and we had given him the apology that he had asked for, then we would have been basically telling him, just keep doing it to people. You know, if we're not going to stand up for it, who is? So that's what we did, guys. We stood up for everybody's rights here. This is America. We don't get arbitrary orders from a judge and follow them just because he's been elected by our peers. And because of that, because we stood up to this guy, he made me serve 5 days. That is a total of 240 hours. And every single hour of it was in solitary confinement. On some occasions, I got but 5 minutes a day on the phone. In a 24-hour period, I got 5 minutes a day at one point. They had me cuffed every time I went out on the phone, except for a few occasions when the shift personnel did not know that that was the case. And then after that, before that, when I was getting booked into the jail, one of the guys, Caleb Sanders was his name, is a correctional officer. I asked him if I could book in after he told me he was going to do it when I was ready. And I said, dude, let me book in. The guy gets annoyed that I'm demanding something of him. He grabs me by the arm and starts rolling me around, throws me on the ground and knees me in the head when I'm on the ground. And Hoosier News now has a public records request in for that footage. So we're going to get that for you here in the near term. But guys, this was grotesque. I mean, if you don't comply in this court, you're going to get screwed. I don't know how many lives he's ruined. This is one of those guys that will sign away someone's life for 40 years and sleep just fine at night.
Repeat offender. And what's like really egregious, and people should take note of this. And this is the reason that I brought it up. Like, this guy is what America should be. I mean, look what this says. First of all, this isn't even placed into the record until 3 days after he's held, but it says order finding defendant in direct contempt of court and remands the defendant to the custody of the Newton County Sheriffs for a period of 5 actual days and affords the defendant the opportunity to purge himself of contempt of court over any time over the next 5 days. And what they're saying is very, very simple. You can get out of your cage. You can go back home to your family. You can go back home to your kids, and you can start to live your life. And we won't take your freedom for you. All you have to do is apologize. And what this young man did is he looked into the face of tyranny, as our oppressors did in 1776 when they said, we won't take any more. We're going to shut this down. He said, you can take it. You can rub it on your chest. I'm not giving up my rights and in turn giving up other people's rights just so you can feel secure within your position as a fucking beta male. I am going to take this ride. And he did it for everyone at home. And this is the type of behavior that we don't see a lot in the activism community anymore. We don't see people taking that ride. We don't see people sitting down and saying, all right, I will stay in jail. I'm ready to go right here, right now. And that's what this kid is doing. He's literally paving the new way. No one wants to read about yesterday's news and today's headlines. And these guys are the next big thing coming on. And now with his own, he could have just left. there would be no lawyer, there would be no lawsuit. He wouldn't have to go through all this. But he's doing it and putting himself at greater risk because he wants to do something that he believes in for you people at home. And I understand if you can't send him any money, that's fine. He's one of those guys that doesn't ever ask for it. I'm asking for him. If you can go on Cash App, CH and Ty Audits, PayPal, super chats always help. You can become a member on his channel. And if you can't afford to send a couple dollars right now, that's fine. You can still be just as helpful by commenting on these videos, sharing these videos, and make sure that when you go into the live stream, you let him know that you're there. Because I'll tell you one thing, when he was laying in that cell by himself, he knew that every single person in this chat had his back. And know right now, guys, when he decided to stay in jail and give up his freedom for everyone else's security, he was doing the same for you. So my hat's off to you, brother.
Thank you, AFA. I appreciate that. And guys, I appreciate AFA's kind words. I mean, I think he praises me more than I deserve, but everything I appreciate, and what he's saying is right. I mean, when I was sitting in jail, I knew that every single person in this community had my back. I heard the phones ringing off the hook with my own 2 ears. And, when I was talking to my girlfriend, she was telling me that you guys had my back to the fullest. And I can't say how much I appreciate that. I mean, it really touched me to the bottom of my heart when I was in there. But yeah, guys, I'm glad that we could go over that video. We're going to have more updates on lawsuits, on the body cam footage and the lobby footage from when I was getting, stomped on by this ridiculous tyrant in the jailhouse. I appreciate everyone who super chatted and did that. But now, with my inexperience, I'm going to ask, can we have the link for this StreamYard put in the chat? Hey, Art Akuto, I appreciate that very much, man. I really do. So, but if we could have a link to the StreamYard put in the chat, as a matter of fact, I can put it in the chat myself, and then the moderators could copy it.
I just dropped it in the chat. So what you're going to want to do is, there it is. So you see it's CH and Ty. Go ahead and click that on your phone, and it gives you the option to pin it. So do you see the StreamYard link in the chat?
Let me see it. We're gonna get this figured out real soon, because I'd like some of the other auditors, if there are. I saw For Public Safety in the chat. I'd like him to come up, and a few other auditors, and we can kind of talk about this kind of stuff and what we think about it. That'd be great. And I AFA, when you need to go, brother, you just I'm not trying to hold you longer than you need to be. So
no, you're good, man. If anyone comes backstage, show your face, or I'm not bringing you up, because I'm not going to have them go through all that nonsense.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, guys, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this judge was an absolute disgrace to America. He was a disgrace to his office. I know that a lot of people will have seen James Freeman's call up there for public, or it was who was it? It was the other guy that did a video on it.
So you had myself.
Here's the deal. That's right. And then Josh had a live stream that's still up, right? You did a live stream as well. It's still up. I watched it. There's Chris from For Public Safety. How's it going, man?
You gotta turn your microphone on, Chris. Yo, Double Dub, show me your face, bro.
Oh, there you are.
There
Got
you
it.
are.
All right, how y'all doing?
Sorry, Double Dub, a hand's not going to do it. I'm not going to put your face on screen, but these guys aren't getting bombed. So no face, no plays.
Absolutely. So, yeah, what's up, man, Chris? What do you think about that?
Oh, man, you know what I think, brother. Been there, done that, kind of, except for they didn't lock me up, man. It's egregious. I mean, it's obvious, they're playing games with their power, and we can't let that happen, man. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I hate to see, I really do. I hate to see anybody take the arrest. It shouldn't have to happen that way. But, I mean, what are you going to do, man? It's either that or lay down and let them get away with it. So
absolutely.
I applaud you for going all the way through with it, brother. I wish you didn't have to.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you've been helping me out a lot, giving me texts and sending me attorney's information. So I appreciate that a lot from you.
Well, did it help?
I haven't looked into it right now. I got off the phone with Legal Shield, and then I've been out auditing all day. So I'm going to be looking into it as soon as we're off of this.
Okay. Yeah, I'd give well, I mean, it'd probably be more like tomorrow during business hours, but at least try a few of them and see what happens. And if you run out of them, call me and I'll give you another handful. I had to do it for 2 years. So
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like, guys, it's not like I'm the first person that something like this has happened to. This happens all over America. This is why this guy thinks he can get away with this kind of stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
San Joaquin Valley Transparency, great to see you here, man. But yeah, guys, I mean, I know that a lot of people have seen this video a few times, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody could get walked through it from me and see my opinions. I mean, I've never seen something that bad on an auditing video. I've only been watching them for about 2 years though, but this is that, in my opinion, was some of the worst. It was just flat out tyranny. The guy says you can be here, and then says, "Well, now you've offended me, so you're going to jail."
if I might say, CH, I think, the difference might be when we step into the realm past the law enforcement officers, you start getting into the prosecutors and the judges, and what you're witnessing is that's their version of the same abuse of power. That's the level they're at. And unfortunately, guys, we got a lot more work to do than just dealing with law enforcement. I mean, as hard as that is, there's more.
Right. I mean, we saw it. We saw it in this video. That bailiff that did this, you could see it in his face. He didn't want to do this. He knows where he gets his orders from. He knows who makes the rules for him, and he follows them blindly. I mean, I think going out and talking to law enforcement is important because it spreads the message throughout law enforcement. I appreciate that, San Joaquin, but it spreads the message throughout law enforcement, and maybe some of these guys who were formerly mindless robots, maybe it clicks with them, and they think, this guy was making some good points. I see where he's coming from. And maybe they change their mind and they look to go get a new job. But really, the real problems come from the judges, from the elected officials like congressmen, from sheriffs, from the guys who really get elected by people. They don't answer any questions on the election trail. And then they get into office and do tyrannical things like this. And it becomes the status quo. It has become the status quo over the course of the last 50 years. That's what this movement's all about, is changing the status quo. Unfortunately, back 50 years ago, not everybody had a camera. Not everybody had the means to go out and do this. Nowadays, we all have the means to go out and do this. I encourage everybody who has a video camera phone, which is everybody in the chat, I assume. Every time you see those red and blue lights, every time you see somebody getting harassed, pull that phone out and make sure we get it on video, because this behavior is unacceptable. It is absolutely terrible, and we cannot let this go on for much longer.
These are elected officials too. The only reason I bring this up real quick is to prove a point that these folks are elected officials. I'm from Massachusetts, so judges, governor, they're appointed by the governors. And so are sheriffs. So out where you guys are from, these are elected positions. Now, I want to tell you guys that when I did my live stream, I kept this up for about an hour and a half. They had a 2.9 rating on Google review. If you look at where they're at now, their rating is 1.2. 1.2. And then you look at why it's 1.2, and you look at some of these comments. Judge can't understand what contempt of court is. Blows my mind. Everyone is talking about this one issue and CH getting arrested. And, you people are letting them know that's your right to redress your grievances. You can go on a public forum like this. And I'll tell you one thing. They do care about this. You talk with your feet. You talk by the power of the people. So when they see that their public persona is a 1.2 come election season, they're getting hit in the pocket and they're losing their constituents. And that's the way that you fight these people, with cameras and with your votes. So when people say that, our ability at the ballot boxes doesn't hold weight anymore, that's not true. Google is much more powerful than a friggin' ballot box. You can go on there, leave your review right now, get them down to 0.2, because they've dropped down almost 2 full points since he was arrested.
Yeah, and they act a lot different once that happens. That hit in our case too. This same community jumped in and did a bunch of Google reviews for me and official misconduct, and it was like as soon as they realized that the public was paying that much attention, their actions. I mean, they're still doing what they're doing, but their actions changed. They're more responsive to grievances. They're trying to be more official and do things, per the process a little bit better. So even if the actors don't change, you can at least change the way they pretend to be, which actually in turn makes them perform more legally. So it's weird how it works, but it does work.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they're acting different, even if it's literally acting, that's still their actions. And if we
Yep.
can have any influence on that, it matters. It matters even in the slightest capacity. I mean, we got to start somewhere, right? It's this movement is still small, I think, compared to where it's going. I mean, I see new auditors every day, and these little towns that, because right now I'm stuck in Indiana. Me and Ty only hit places in Indiana, so we're hitting every town, every single small city, every single small county. We're hitting them all, and it almost seems like the smaller the county, the greater their comfortability is with just enforcing these, arbitrary orders, this lawlessness, their feelings. And people may say, well, look at this county, it's small, it doesn't make a difference. No, this sets precedent. I mean, imagine in a bigger county. I mean, as soon as I left that courthouse, guys, as soon as I left the jail, as a matter of fact, Hoosier News Now was live with me, and we had a guy from the community drive by us outside of the courthouse, and he said, hey, I appreciate what you do, please keep up the good work. And I've been getting emails from these locals out there saying, Judge Moulter has done this, Judge Moulter has done that. I mean, this is right up your alley for public safety, corrupt judges and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to check into this. I could forward you some emails if you'd like, but I mean, this kind of stuff is just, it's like literally shameful. I mean, I grew up, and I was kind of naive. I love my country no matter what, but I was very proud of my country growing up until I started opening my eyes. I started seeing people, and they helped me open my eyes. And this country needs fixed. And I'm not saying that I'm the one to fix it. You guys are the ones that are going to fix it. The masses. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but when I was in jail, I told these guys, because they were like, well, you can't be mad at us. We're just following orders. Well, when the people have had enough, and the people go and they rise to arms and they start really going and using their constitutional right to overthrow a government, do you think they're going to care? Do you think they're going to ask, hey, did you believe in this, or were you just following orders? It's preposterous.
Even beyond that, I mean, look at due process of law. I know, CH, you guys are big believers in due process of law. And the most egregious part of this is the fact that the judge acted as the arresting officer. And then he brought you forth before his court so he could, as a judge, review his own case as an arresting officer, and then scheduled you to come back into court in front of him again. I mean, he should have recused himself immediately. That's the worst part of this whole thing, is that a judge abusing his power can automatically detain you as the arresting officer, then be the judge in the case. There's zero checks and balances.
Right.
Yeah.
If you think about that from a more like normal thinking process standpoint, that is the victim being the judge. That's what that is. It's like if someone was to report something that they feel like they're a victim of, and then being the judge on that case. It's so wrong. Like, that's so
I've
wrong.
never thought about it like that for public safety. That's a very good point.
That's what it is.
That's the whole point of it. I mean, imagine a judge walking onto the street and then arresting you. He deputized his secretary to decide what was not public forum. He arrested you, and then imagine if a judge arrests you and then he brings you and he's the judge in the court case. I mean, there are no checks and balances. That's why we have three branches of government, and this judge literally bypassed due process of law in every single action that he took. I mean, it's friggin' disgraceful.
Yeah, he was the executive branch and the judicial branch at the same time.
Yeah.
He was the legislative as well. I mean,
he
made his own. It wasn't even really truly one, but yeah, he did. He took right in there as if it existed in that matter.
He literally passed his own laws. He arrested you as a police officer, then exercised his judicial right to prosecute you, and then created his own laws under the legislative branch, all in one, without any due process.
Yes, and due process is super important. If we're going to get any justice in this system, we can't have stuff like this going on. I keep using the word sickening, but that's what it is. We got D45 in here. How's it going? We got a lot of people coming in here. The Smoking Otter. We got Chester County News. How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's Dad for service. D4S.
Hell yeah.
Oh no signal.
We can hear you. So what do you guys think? Anybody
Well,
got any
unless, of course,
comments on this?
you mean besides the fact they illegally arrested you?
Yeah, besides
Yeah.
that, any
I mean,
insights into it?
you
No.
literally just went over the facts. I mean, the judge acted as judge, jury, and executioner kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and the scariest thing for me is that this guy gets away with it. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. This guy's back in office for at least another 2 years, and I don't know how many people he's going to do this kind of crap to in the future. You know, I mean, it'll be worse. You shoot the guy a wrong glance in court, and he's going to hold you as guilty and then sentence you to an extra 2 years. You know, it's
Craig, look at it this way, right? You would agree that we have a huge problem with police and they're absolutely corrupted in their power. Is that fair enough for everyone?
No,
to
it's
agree with?
absolutely fair to say, yeah.
Okay, so we look at police and we have some bad interaction. We look at all of our videos, whether it's auditing, activism, cop watching, and we see police breach their duty, okay? And now look at how much worse that it's got. Like, I really want people to grasp the depth of this issue, is that police are that bad, but they're only the one, they're not then going in, you're not going in front of them in court as they're your judge, and then they're later sentencing you. So if we think the police problem is that bad, you really need to understand how criminal and negligent this judge is, because he was a cop times a judge times a state legislature. I mean, I don't know what you guys think of that, but I think this is the most dangerous type of tyrant out there.
Well,
Yeah,
we
it is
run into-
scary to think about, isn't it? If we could have a cop, you know, arrest us, then he's sitting on the bench to prosecute us as well. It's very.
I mean, what is the judge going to clone himself now times 12 and get himself to be the jury as well? There's a saying in criminal circles or people that have done time. You'll see a lot of people that have done time. They'll have a tattoo that says 13 and a half. That means 12 jurors, one judge, and half a chance at justice. And that's what we're seeing right here.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, that's a lot of the reason that they try to get you to avoid your jury trial, too. I mean, almost every court case, they try to talk you out. They'll tell you that you're not making a good decision if you want a jury, which is pretty much the opposite of the truth, in my opinion. You know, I mean, at least you stand a chance.
For that. My oldest brother is currently in jail, and because of the Supreme Court identifying the fact that an 11-to-1 jury or 10-to-1 jury indicates that a person there is a reasonable doubt. So if there's even one person against, then there's a reasonable doubt. So you can't convict. It's like he's
I'm
currently
sorry to
waiting
hear your brother's in jail, but that's absolutely true. I think it was George Washington who said it's better that 10 guilty men walk free than one innocent man serve any jail time. So
he's
the jury
literally just waiting. He's waiting to be re-jurred or retried if the prosecution decides to do that. And it's been over a year now.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's awful.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, you know, we can redress our grievances against the government. But I think that one thing that needs to be pursued is to show the voters of the county, of the town, you know, just bombard the business owners with that link to the video of what happened. I mean, that may be something. They probably have no understanding of what actually happened in the town. They have no idea. And if you can get that sunlight on these people from the people of that community, that's more of a pressure on them.
I agree, man.
with you.
It's very difficult in these small communities. I feel like door to door is the option. Harvey Freebird, I appreciate that, man. Why don't you come up here? I love your videos. I think it's absolutely great. I'd love to have you on the panel, man.
But if you troll the town and you troll their email addresses for the bakery, for the Pennzoil, oil shop, and just blast them out an email.
No, I hear you, man. And that's I think that a lot of businesses fear repercussions and retaliation if that wasn't successful for them,
Yeah, they don't want to be part of it. Another thing, Craig, real quick, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man, but I'm dying to say this to one of the biggest problems we have, I'm sure, CH is going to agree with me because we're both kind of in the general same area, the people that we are getting this stuff through to, the majority of them don't even realize that these acts are even illegal. Like they just think it's normal. That's how
Yes.
bad it is here.
Yes, and that's why in the small towns the cops act so out of hand because they're just used to saying and the people jumping when they say to jump. They ask how high, officer. And you're
Yep.
absolutely right. These people have been brainwashed since day one. Cops are your friends, cops are your protectors, but when they tell you to do something for your own safety, you better do it because they're the good guys, and if you don't do it, you're the bad guy. It's just all backwards, man, and that is a problem with Indiana. I mean, I'm not political, guys. I'm not even going to say anything. I really don't care for either of the parties, but Trump, when he ran, he had this big I back the blue. That's basically when the whole movement really got put into overdrive. And
Yeah.
77, I think, percent of Indiana voters voted for Trump. And like the back the blue sign, the gang sign is everywhere. I mean, it's crazy. But guys, I'm gonna leave you here with Ty. I'm gonna actually request that he does some talking. Harvey, I'd like you to get up here in the chat and do some talking, man. So if you could, that'd be great. I'm gonna go help bring my little boy in from the car, so I'll be back.
Hey, Craig, I got about 5 minutes, but I should be able to, I think, just leave it up and then you guys can keep going.
Yeah, I'll log into StreamYard and make sure that I can take control of it from the. Yeah, we'll get into it. That's great.
And right now, just so everyone knows, this is his StreamYard is set up where you can only have 6 guests. So I'm going to drop down so that way I can bring up Harvey Freebird, but I'll be in the back.
Yeah, I can.
Josh, you can drop me down if you want, brother. First thing I want to say though, before I do that, is it's nice to meet you, Ty, in person, kind of.
Hey, nice to meet you as well, man.
All right, brother. Yeah, Josh, you can drop me down, buddy, and let somebody else come up. I appreciate it.
So if you drop someone down into the back end, are they still on and you could bring them back up?
Yes.
I've done that stuff. Cool.
Yeah. So
that way we
that's
can
what I'm
stay
gonna do
listening
myself.
and switch. Yeah, I could drop down. I'm currently driving.
So Ty, let me ask you a question, buddy. You know,
Yeah.
this is I mean, obviously Craig is your friend, and you're kind of seeing this from the background, but when you look at something like this and you know Craig in a personal light, how does it make you feel? Like, first of all, did you think a judge actually had the power to do something like that? And then how does it make you feel to see that done?
Oh, not at all. I mean, I was really disgusted by it, to be honest with you. Like, I know Craig, like you said, on a personal level, and I knew that, he didn't deserve what came his way that day. And, hold on a minute.
So what happened? Was that
retribution?
Was that retribution or was that lawful practice under the color of law?
Oh, it was retribution for sure.
So what do you think that should happen, Ty, with this judge? I mean, I think Craig brought up a good point that, you could tell this guy was rightfully scared. He was kind of thinking to himself. He had that aha moment, like, I might really be screwing up here if I take this kid to jail.
Right.
But so what do you think should happen to the judge now? What do you think the people should do?
Well, I think he should face the consequences of his actions, I mean, he's supposed to know the law. So,
well, that's it right there, isn't it?
Acceptable.
That's it right there, isn't it, Ty? Like the judge is the ultimate authority of the land. He is the arbitrator. He's basically, for all intents and purposes, a referee, right? And you never have a referee in an NFL game that doesn't know what the rules are of the NFL. They have to have a basic understanding so they can call the plays correctly. So how does it make you feel, Ty, that a person whose job is to know, execute, and arbitrate the laws not only has no idea what the laws are, but are making them up at will? What does that make you think?
Well, it makes me scared for us, for one thing. Like, somebody with that position of power should, know what they're doing and what they're enforcing.
I agree. That's what we were talking about. I think it was on the way up to our audit. Is like, this guy is the arbiter of the law. He's supposed to tell you when and he doesn't even know the law.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
well, he wanted to remind you he knew the law, because when you were explaining to him the right of the free press under the Bill of Rights, he had no problem stopping you and saying, I know the law, But then he didn't know the law because he says, I know the law. My understanding is that they can film. But even though that I don't know the law, I said that I do know the law. And I think that they can film. I'm now going to arrest them and send them into a dungeon because my secretary thinks that they shouldn't film.
I mean, didn't he actually go and research that law real quick? I think I recall him going and reading it on his phone or something, maybe.
Who was it?
The judge. He walked away for maybe a minute or two right after you told him that it was not illegal for you to be in that area filming. I saw the judge walk the other direction towards down that hallway, and I was thinking he was jumping on his phone to see if he could find the law to cite at you.
Honestly, I really don't recall if he had his phone out, but I for some reason I recall him going into the room and the guy looks at me and then the judge comes back out and says, "That's an order. Bring him." I ordered the security to bring him into the court. So I don't know if he had time for it, but he obviously had a conference with the other judge. And they didn't even know that law, because if they did, they would have just started court and then held me in contempt for filming outside of it.
Or if what you were doing at that point in time truly was illegal, they wouldn't have wasted any time. We all know this, man. They're not going to waste any time. They want us in handcuffs every time we set foot in the buildings with them cameras. We all know that.
Absolutely.
So if in fact he was aware of a law that you were breaking at that time, don't you think he would have taken action immediately?
I don't think he knew upside down. So, for example, most people don't know the law in such a bootlicking society, and we don't have classes like civics anymore. Like Brian says, you ask for an attorney in the courtroom. So here's the thing:
yes, I did.
Don't know is you can ask for an attorney, but a contempt of court charge is a civil charge. It's not
so
criminal.
They're not
It's not criminal unless you're found guilty. So when you look at the paperwork, it says other criminal misdemeanor. It's not actually a criminal charge unless he's found guilty of contempt. It's only a civil charge. So unless you've been charged with a crime, you're not eligible to have representation of an attorney. And I'm sure that judge didn't know that either because he's a friggin' moron.
Well, you can get one, but you got to pay for it. It won't be quarter paid.
I did ask for the attorney because I actually was under the impression at the time that contempt was a criminal charge. But guys, Josh is AFA, Accountability for All, is running out of time here on the stream. So while we're watching this, if anybody hasn't already, which is probably going to be few and far between, if we could go over there and drop a subscribe. He did this whole live stream basically by himself, just out of the goodness of his heart. So if we can go over there and subscribe to his channel first and foremost. We've got For Public Safety. We've got the Smoking Auditor. We've got D45. And Harvey Freebird is trying to make his way over here. Hopefully he can get up because I want to hear his take on this because he is just a no bullshit individual. He does not take this kind of stuff from them. I'd like to hear his take. But
yeah, Lou is right. He wasn't Mirandized because there was no crime. So he could have had his own attorney, but they certainly weren't going to stop the proceedings to hear it. This is a power play by a judge whose sole goal was to get someone to kneel before him. And we see that all the time with police. This is the same tyrant wearing a different fucking costume. And Harvey, you have the circle of death. I don't know if you have bad service, but it's not letting you say anything.
Yeah, I'm not even. I mean, he's not even showing up on my stream. It's just Circle of Death. So, God damn it!
Isn't there supposed to be an ethic review board for judges?
There is actually, and if you go to James Freeman's coverage of it, he's got that link in his description. But I am yet to add that to mine. I've got an edited version that's going to be coming out where all the dialogue is made louder so that people can hear it better. And on that version, I'm going to have that link in the description for everybody to go, and we can complain to the ethics review board and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was going to toss your way, CH, is that I've actually gone through the judicial complaint process a couple of times now. I was going to send you everything that I've been through and see if that might help a little bit. If anything, you would think, and I don't know this, I have not found this in law, but it would be sensible to consider that if you filed a judicial complaint with the Senate, with the board, you would think that it would be a conflict of interest for that judge to act in your case after that. But I haven't been able to find that exactly word for word yet.
Yeah, I'd agree, but I
mean, it is.
that kind of stuff is beyond me. Maybe
It's a
Josh would know.
conflict of interest because I mean, it's pretty clear that a judge cannot have any interaction in a case that he has foreknowledge or exposure to. So, for example, if a judge used to be a coach on a little league team and Craig was the other coach in that team, if that's the only interaction they had foreknowledge or exposure. Just based on that, he would have to recuse himself. A judge could not hear a case on someone that he represented before as an attorney. Before he was a judge. I mean, literally, this is poster child case for a judge needing to recuse himself. And it just, I mean, I think that that's going to be one of the biggest issues. And I've said this from the beginning when he is reviewed by the ethical panel, and I'm sure this is going to get there. There's no way that he acted within the scope of the law. It's non-existent. I asked an attorney friend of mine who's very, very good, and he was like, regardless of everything that happened and the fact that this kid spent 5 days in jail, the biggest legal abuse is the fact that the judge pulled him in front of his own court after issuing arrest, because that's basically what he did. He issued a citizen's arrest because there wasn't in court. To be contempt of court, a court has to be convened. So he created a citizen's arrest, then pulled him into court and held him on contempt for violating a proceeding that had never happened. I mean, there's just so many issues with this. And I wonder how many people are sitting in jail right now because of this judge. I mean, what do they say? 4% of the nation that's incarcerated is wrongfully incarcerated. That's just under 100,000 people. And of those 100,000 people that shouldn't be in a dungeon or a cage right now, like Craig was, how many of those people didn't do it? How many of those people were adjudicated falsely because he didn't have any knowledge of the law or what that law allowed him to do in his capacity as a judicial arbitrator? I mean, it's absolutely disgusting, and everyone should definitely help in this case, because even if it's $1, this helps us, right? Like when Lackluster releases a video where another person sues or another activist wins a lawsuit, this is how it helps. And those small cents adds up to big dollars when he contacts his attorney and he's able to hold these guys accountable. And you know what? That judge might not have a robe or a bench to sit at anymore. So I implore everyone, his Cash App is $CH and Ty Audits. If you can help him out, he needs it and he'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. And every dime that comes to us from that on there. Hey, there's Harvey. There's the free bird.
What's up?
Not much, man. Yeah, great to actually meet you here on one of my panels, dude. I'm a huge fan of your work. What did you see the original video that we're discussing here?
I was trying to get in, and when I was trying to get in, it was making all of you guys talk at the same time, so I couldn't understand. But I switched over to Wi-Fi, and then that let me in, and now I can understand you guys.
Yeah, that'll do it, man. That'll do it. But hey, what did you think about this case? Have you seen the video that we're discussing here?
The one where you got arrested in the courthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you got hammered, man. You got hosed.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was bullshit, man. But, I mean, you know, these sovereign citizens, they do whatever they want. You know, their favorite saying is that, you know, you can beat the charge, but you're not going to beat the ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I certainly didn't beat the ride.
Yeah. And the ride just started. I mean, your ride's going to go on for a year or so. But the great thing about it, though, is after you finally do beat the ride, then you can sue the shit out of them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole thing is like, as long as they didn't do anything wrong, they got nothing to worry about. But I can kind of get the feeling that these guys are shaking in their boots.
Yeah. But, man, I just came across your channel, I would say about a month ago. And I've binge watched your channel, dude. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, actually, same, dude. I mean, I love your term, you know, the invasive species and all that stuff. It's true, dude. I mean, I really appreciate the work you're doing. And Josh is another great, you know, we've got AFA, Accountability for All. He's another great guy out there working for us. You know, he's doing work for you guys on a free basis.
Yeah.
You know, we all work for free, basically. We only get paid if you guys appreciate the content and watch it. We've got for public safety, and we've got the smoking auditor with us. So Smoking Auditor, have you actually made a few videos that I'm going to need to check out your channel, man?
No, I've not made any videos. I just like watching your guys' videos. I'm not even sure how I got on here with you guys in the first place, but other than talking to you guys
your
in
name
chat.
probably did it and you showed the face. But yeah, if you, I mean, guys, yeah, if we could show some love to everybody here on the panel. And, you know, as Josh said, I don't usually ask for donations and stuff, but I just got the quote today from the lawyers that I talked to. The lowest quote I got was $6,000. So any donations, the Cash App, the PayPal are all getting put in the comment section, in the live comments. If you guys could help us out in any way, we'd really appreciate that so much. But yeah, this was ridiculous. Josh, I don't know. Do you have to go still? You gotta head out soon.
I gotta run. Would you know how to shut it down if I leave?
I don't know how to shut it down, so I'm gonna say that the stream is gonna end when you leave. So we're gonna shut this thing down. But guys, I appreciate everybody for joining. This whole getting into jail isn't gonna deter CH and
Ty. Talk to you, man.
What's up?
I said it's nice to meet you and talk to you, man. You're the new protege of the auditing community.
Thank you,
really.
Harvey. Likewise, man. I've wanted to talk to you for a while, so thanks for coming up, man.
Hey, man, you're a rock star, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love it.
Thank you, brother. Likewise. But guys, everybody, thanks for joining the stream. Thanks to all of the people who came up to the panel.
Tell accountability for all. Thank you too. I like accountability for all. He's been sharing my videos. Thank you, AFA.
Anytime, Harvey. Love your work, man. Keep up the great work, bro.
All right, man. I'm trying. Hey, something's going on with YouTube, man. I'll get 5 or 10 subscribers in a day, and then the next day they're gone. My subscribers are telling me left and right they're being unsubscribed. Does anybody have any ideas or tips for me on this? I don't know what's going on.
To call it a shadow ban, Harvey, but I'm not sure what triggers it, and I'm not sure how to get around it.
You got to look at your rates per minute. Like, it might not be something like a shadow ban. This time of year, YouTube goes and knocks. Like, so if I send people to your channel and they just subscribe, but they don't watch anything, within 72 hours, those subscriptions will be invalidated. And the way that the analytics works is if I'm subscribed to you, Harvey, and I have the notification bell set to always, and I miss 3 of your videos in a row, then it's going to unset the notification bell. So I'm not going to get any notifications. There's so many channels I'm subscribed to, I'm not getting notice. I'm not watch the video. So 10 videos down the line, now they're unsubscribing people. But if it's as far as the shadow ban goes, just head into your YouTube studio on your computer, look at your impressions rate, set it for the last 90 days. And if you see that over the last 30 days, your impressions rate just take a complete dive, then you'll have a good idea that you're shadow banned. At that point, get rid of any videos that might mention overly sensitive topics, and then, just get back in the analytics.
Man, look, all my analytics have dived in the last month, and I deleted 20 videos. But I know Freaking Media, he took his channel and went private for a whole month. I mean, you couldn't even find his channel anywhere. And then when he made it unprivate again, he had 12,000 more subscribers than when he went private.
Yeah, guys, and we got 278 in the chat. If you guys love my videos, you're going to love Harvey. So everybody who hasn't already, go over there and subscribe. I'm personally subscribed myself with the notification bell on. So get over there and do that if you haven't already. But guys,
thanks, man.
AFA has got to run. All the auditors in the chat, Chris, I'm going to get a hold of you, and Harvey, feel free to contact me anytime, man. My information's in my about page, and we'll exchange phone numbers. So, but guys,
cool,
thanks
man.
for everybody who joined. Thanks for all the super chats and the super stickers. We will catch you next time. CH and Ty Audits out.
Later, y'all. Thank you. Love you guys.
I gotta go to the strip club and get back on that pole.